Hello, beautiful people. Welcome back to another episode of my personal diary podcast. I really hope you're doing well. And before starting the podcast, if you guys could go and give the podcast a 5-star review on Spotify, and if you're watching this on YouTube, go like, comment, and share. I would appreciate it so much. It really helped me boost the podcast so more people can see it and I can help more people. And don't be shy to give me your feedback. My DMs are always open as long as it's respectful. So the subject of today is motivation. I had a lot of people asking me to talk about it and they need some tips on how to get motivated, which is good. So that's why we're going to talk about it today. So motivation, come and go. There's time during the year maybe you feel less motivated. Personally, for me in winter, I always struggle to get shit done because it gets really dark outside really early during the day and it's super cold. I live in Canada, so winter sucks. I fucking hate winter. So I know that time of the year I really struggle to get shit done and I'm way less motivated. But the thing is with motivation, I know that a lot of people rely on motivation to get shit done, but they shouldn't. Reason why is because motivation is a feeling. And like any other feeling, it comes and it goes. And if you always rely on motivation to get things done, most of the time you won't get all the things you need to do done. So, motivation is great for one thing, I think, is to get things started. So let's say you want to start going to the gym. It's really hard to start the gym when you're not motivated. Let's feel the facts. It's really hard. And that's why when you have a feeling of motivation, I think it's the right moment to get a gym membership, to get a coach, and get started. And when you're motivated, it's also a great time to build a strong routine because when the motivation is gonna leave, you're still gonna have that routine you built when you were motivated. And that's the moment you can also work on your discipline. And discipline is really important. That's one thing I really work with my client because with discipline, when you're motivated or not, you're still gonna get things done because you're still gonna have that strong routine and you're gonna be disciplined even if you don't feel like it. That's the thing with motivation. Sadly, we cannot rely on it, but what we can rely is discipline. And when you have more discipline, you have more work ethic. And when you have more work ethic, what you get more result. As simple as that. So my tips, number one tips when you're motivated, work on building a strong routine, work on building a strong discipline. So when it gets hard, you're still gonna do the things you need to do. That's one of the best things if you want to succeed in life, I think. But there are still tips on how to get motivated personally that I do. So I'm gonna share it with you today. So the first thing you have to know about motivation, like I said earlier, is that motivation is a feeling. So you gotta trigger the feeling of motivation, okay? So how do you get to trigger the feeling of motivation? Personally, I really like to listen to music that hype me up. It's like when you're sad and you listen to sad music to make yourself even more sad. I don't know if I'm the only one that does that, but I know that when I get a little bit depressed, I like to listen to sad music to just, cry it out and then I can get over with. But it's the same thing with motivation and happiness. So if you really want to get in a mood, listen to the music that you like, sing, dance, and really hype yourself up. And also what I used to do when I started my fitness journey, when I was doing my cardio in the morning, I used to go on YouTube and listen to speech motivation. And it might seem weird, but when you start the day listening to a speech motivation, honestly, it triggered the feeling of motivation so much. It hyped me up so much. And you have ton of speech of motivation on YouTube. Sometimes it's like 10 minutes, 30 minutes, even 1 hour of speech. And it really puts you in the mood to get things done and to do the work you need to do during the day. That's one of the best things that helped me to get motivated when I started building my routine and when I started building my discipline. Another thing that really helped me to be more motivated, usually in the morning when you wake up, do your bed, maybe work out, do your cardio. Personally, when I wake up, I make my bed and I go do 30 minutes of cardio before eating. That's the first thing I do in the morning. And what it will do to you, usually it will give you a feeling of gratification because you start the day and you already accomplished one task you had to do during the day. So it's really motivating to start the day and you already done like 2 things you needed to do in your day. And also, the most important things when you start to get less motivated is to remember why you started. I know a lot of the time, me included, sometimes I get less motivated and I'm like, why am I doing this? And it's always important to remember your goal, remember why are you doing this. So maybe get a journal, write down all your goal and why you are doing it. Why you are doing it, because it will help you remember your why. And I think it's so important to remember it because it will drive you even more, because sometimes we get so caught up in our routine doing the same thing every day that we forget why we're doing it, and try to focus on all the progress you made. Try to focus on all the results you had doing those things. That will really, really help you get more motivated. But like I said, you shouldn't rely on motivation to get things done. So that's pretty much it for today, guys. I know it was really, really short, but I really hope you appreciated. If you guys want me to talk about more things in the podcast, please give me your feedback, DMs me. I would be more than happy to hear about your idea. I have a couple more ideas I want to do before the end of the year. I thought you guys will really like it. And again, thank you so much for listening to me, watching me. I really, really appreciate it. I know it's all new to me. I still have some things to work on this podcast, and sometimes I mess up with my words. I know I say it like every time in the podcast, but every podcast I say it, but please give me a chance. English is not my first language. I usually speak French. So, doing a podcast, speaking in English without pausing anything, sometimes it's really hard, but you know what? I am practicing it and I love it. It's really getting me out of my comfort zone. So anyway, thank you guys for watching and listening if you're listening to this on Spotify, and I'll see you in another episode of my Personal Diary podcast.